Test. Can you guys hear me? I think you can. This thing says so. So I'm just gonna keep talking. Sorry about that. My computer turned off because it was too hot. I was trying to do too many things. I was playing Fortnite on the other screen. Just kidding. I don't play Fortnite. I wish I did. Anyway, I wish I had time to play video games. All right, so I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm gonna wait like a minute. I know people are having issues and they're trying to like jump back in. I'm also gonna really quick tweet about it. Okay. By the way, if you like being on Twitter and tweeting random things at people, I love that. So please add me on Twitter if you want, if you so desire. This is my handle on Twitter. It's Rozen DJ. So please follow me if you're not yet and you want to just send random GIFs, whatever you call them. I don't care. I appreciate those. And I'm mostly there, so it's nice if you want to ask me a question later. But anyway, let's keep going with the stream. I was just saying thank you, Andrew Dunn, for playing so beautifully on the cello for this track. And let's move to another villagey and farm-like theme, which is Stables/Epona. Hello there. That was Stables/Epona. Again, going back to the warm and wonderful feelings that Breath of the Wild made me feel inside. Um, sometimes I just gotta do tracks um, that just make me feel like, in peace and everything. Not everything I do has to be like chaotic and like brass and everything. So this was definitely challenging in a different way, right? Like I tried to arrange with different instruments, like acoustic guitars and other folk. I used a bunch of like folk Russian instruments, and I just wanted to bring that new sound into the album. So hopefully you enjoy it. I know it might not be like, oh my gosh, this is as good as synth stuff, but hopefully you'll enjoy some of it. Yes, I will add horse sounds next time, like Monty Python. Anyway, what's the next track? I lost track of this. Okay, ooh, we're almost there. All right, the next track is one of my favorites. It's Koji Kondo's favorite melody that he's written. This is Come Visit from Time to Time, and it is. I'll let you listen to it, but this is from Wind Waker, and it makes me laugh how beautiful this is. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's more coziness, and I hope you're like, you know, in your blanket and it's like 3 a.m. wherever you are, or like I am. It's 10:14 right here, so it's like I hope you're feeling cozy with these songs. And if it's raining, even better. So let's just all just like snuggle and you know listen to these tracks. And yeah, once you know what track it is, please put it in the chat. See if you got it right. Yes, you all got it right. That was Grandma. And my goodness, isn't that song super pretty? I recently actually heard that Koji Kondo said that that's his favorite theme that he's written ever. And yeah, it's very simple, right? It's like a simple moment, but it's just so beautiful. And I wanted to cover this song for the longest time, and I was like, where do I even put it? So I'm glad I decided to make this album to put all those tracks that I desired to arrange. Oh, by the way, before I keep going, someone asked me a while ago. I'm so sorry. I'm just answering this. If I didn't have any limits or licensing issues or just time issues, whatever, what would be the Zelda track that I would love to arrange the most? It wouldn't be a track, it would be a whole album of A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds, since they share a bunch of the themes. I think I almost did that, but then I realized it wasn't really the good time to do that, and so hopefully one day I'll be able to license it and release it. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to answer that question. Going back to Grandma, yeah, tear jerking track. I mean, I recently played like a couple of weeks ago. I was playing Wind Waker with Revan, and we got to that point where we're almost about to leave with the pirates, and this song kicks in as you enter the house, and it's like, what happened? Like, this is so sad. And then I think you go and get your shield or something like that, and it's not there, and then you turn around and John John John, Grandma is there, just crying and being sad that you're leaving. She knows. She knows best. Man, I could not leave her. I was like, I'm just gonna stay here with you. You know, I agree with some of you in the chat. She could have saved. Errol could have saved herself, right? She didn't need us. Zelda could have saved her, right? Um, and then I think once you go questing a little bit and you come back from your adventure, you see that she is very sick, and she's hallucinating, and that was just so sad. And I was like, I really need to make this track. It's like so sad and beautiful and pretty all at the same time. So I needed to just like put all those feelings like in one track and deliver it to you. So you're welcome. Just kidding. I hope this track also makes you happy and makes you want to call your grandma. I don't have any anymore, sadly, but so please do. Please call your grandma soon. All right, the next track. Oh yeah, we're reaching the end. Hopefully, sir. Okay, Song of Storms. So, Rozen, you already did Song of Storms. Well, when has that stopped me? No, but seriously, I wanted to do a Ballads of Hyrule version of Song of Storms, which means all inspired by nature. I wanted to imagine that we are we're witnessing the creation of Hyrule, right? Like maybe Furore or Nehru is like passing around and they're creating the rain. They're creating all the fauna and the flora, but they didn't just do this and it appear, right? Like they had to do a natural process, maybe. I don't know. So I wanted to find the divinity in that. And so I made this track. I used a bunch of gamelan instruments, if you are familiar with those. They always remind me of divinity, and I wanted to make it something that just makes it feel. This is another track like the Dragon Roost Island that I mentioned before, where you can just listen, and you should listen with your eyes closed and with headphones and just like blast it. I mean, I'm sorry if the stream doesn't have like high quality audio, but that's why you should get the album, so you can actually like blast in your ears and not get all those artifacts. And just close your eyes, enjoy and relax. This is a very zen track, but it also has that like whole stormy vibe. Anyway, hope you like it. was Song of Storms by Darude. Just kidding. Um, so yes, someone asked what are those trivial instruments. They're called gamelan. Gamelan. Look them up. They're pretty cool. They're very ritualistic in some Asian cultures. Bali, gamelan, Balinese gamelan is what I used. Yeah. So someone asked, "Where's the line?" Here. Where's the line between using or not using ambience sound effects in a track that is going to form part of an album later on? As a composer and as an arranger, it's hard. I usually don't like doing that or listening to tracks that have sound effects because sometimes it can break the immersion. That's it. If the album is conceptual, like the whole album takes you through a story and takes you through places, and it's all about this theme, then I have no problem with it, and that's when I try to use sound effects. I've been yelled in the past about using some baby crying and getting killed in a track, so I will never do it again. But when it's something like ambience, if I'm trying to get you into that precise image that I'm creating with the music, then I would say that's the line. Theophany does it very, very well in Time's End 1 and 2, and I think the songs would not sound the same without that sound design. But then again, that is the concept of the album, that coming up with he paints beautiful images of his songs and takes you through the whole game in such a masterful way. By the way, shout out to Jason, if he's here. Also, shout out to super talented mastering engineer Jet Galindo. I see you are in the chat somewhere. She mastered this album at Bakery LA mastering studios, and she is fantastic. Every time, ever since I started working with her back in last year when I did Nier Automata, that changed my whole life because the mastering process really helps polish the songs. It's the last stage of the production, and I believe my production has come to the next step because of great people like her. So thank you so much for mastering this album. The next track is going to be Neighbor's Love. This is the last remaster. I basically changed the strings. I have some live strings in there that bothered me, and I did a little bit of cleaning and stuff. So now we're going into the last part of the album. These last 3 tracks are what I call, if you actually buy the CD or the vinyl, it says, because I cannot remember, but it's a suite pretty much. Like if I could put them all 3 in one track, I would have done it, but this is cooler because they're also standalone. So it's kind of like they work by themselves. I like writing very long songs, but at the same time, I like splitting them if they do feel like they're different, right? So just got distracted myself. Anyway, and I'm doing this 3-part suite dedicated to the goddesses of Hyrule. Like I said, that was a huge inspiration for this album. Same with Saints of Hyrule. And since these 2 albums are connected, I wanted to keep that theme of the divinity versus the people living in Hyrule. And we're starting with Neighbor's Love, which we all know. Some of you know, like older fans. And there's 2 new tracks that I want you to listen. So, I might stop between them very quickly. But let's listen to them. That was Nayru's Love. Now some people might have thought that was Nayru's song. It's not. I just call it Nayru's Love. I mean, it's mainly Zelda's lullaby, but I wanted to make it all about the love of Nayru. I guess you could call it like that. It's if there was a song in the series called Nayru's Love, this would be it. That's what I thought when I wrote this arrangement a couple of years ago. And so yeah, there's some elements of Zelda's lullaby. There's other like original stuff in there, which I really like doing. I don't know if you've noticed, and if you haven't, if you're new to my work and my music, I love yes, covering these themes that we all love and know, but at the same time, I love also adding to them just to like make them less I guess repetitive, or like just bring something new to the table that will hopefully complement what's already there. This next track is the second part of that suite that I was talking about. Din's Fire, new track. This was my favorite track from this album to produce overall. Just be like, I was just excited from beginning to finish. And I was like, I can't wait for people to listen to this. This is a little bit more intense than the rest. It jumps from very, very, very quiet moments to very, very, very loud moments. So just keep that in mind. And I just want to paint a picture in your head for a second, so you can listen with some background information on this. Just imagine Din's Fire descending to, well, I guess there's no Hyrule yet, right? Din creates it, and she goes ahead and creates the lands and mountains, and I imagine it'd be pretty much like how the Earth was created, right? Like with fairy dust. No, just kidding. Volcanoes and pressure, and the before there was an atmosphere, there was chaos and like fire and heat and all this, like just bubbling and stuff. So imagine the same thing. Picture a volcano, and then as we keep seeing all these lands being terraformed, you go up until you see other goddesses doing their work, and you like finally see this big land of Hyrule, and you see this majestic side of the world as it's being built. So that's what this track is about, and hopefully you can see that image. Otherwise, if you just like the song, cool. Extra points to the people who can point out all the themes in there. So that was The Inspire. Again, one of my favorite tracks for this album, of this album, and I really, really wanted to show you this. Hopefully, you'll listen to it more and see all the little details. Yes, that was Dark World somewhere in there. Just a little hint of that, you know, um, play on that title, right? It's a dark, hot world first. It's chaos, and then it just turns into this like majestic Hyrule field. Um, and then yes, someone pointed out this beautiful image of it, like, you know, just it feels like you're looking at the sunset of Hyrule in that last part. Um, so that brings us to the last piece, and before we listen to it, this has been an enormous pleasure, you guys. Like, this is the first time I say hi in virtual person, and I'm really, really glad to be sharing this time with all of you. I hope, yeah, we can do it more. I've seen some people saying like, "Oh, you should do it more." Yes, I shall do it more. I don't know if I will become a YouTuber. I think that's either like I write a bunch of albums or I am a YouTuber. But that said, I like doing this kind of things. It feels very intimate. Hopefully, it feels like that for you as well, and you feel like, you know, this big hug. You know, like everyone is just sharing these cool ideas and positiveness. Thank you so much for all that. And for this last track, oh, and also thank you for all the people who are staying up super late. I mean, it's only what, like 10:41 p.m. over here in Los Angeles, California. But I know some people are like really suffering through those late hours, and I really appreciate you made it this far. You didn't have to. You could have listened to the album tomorrow, but thank you regardless, and you have my gratitude. So, last song. Well, now the land has been created, the love has been shared, but there's something more important, right? Like wildlife, nature. Like, let's enjoy all of that. Now, if any of you have played the video game Journey, you'll probably feel like some of that vibe in there. Not like melodical or anything. I have a very specific picture painted in my head when I listened to this song while I was working on it, and it's like towards the end, no spoilers, but during the climax of the game where you're just like majestic and beautiful and flying through wind and whatever. I'll stop right there. So that's what this track makes me feel. It feels like everything is created, fauna and flora are being like brought into the world of Hyrule, and with that, towns and villages and people, right? So it's like I've taken you through this journey through the creation of Hyrule, not in order obviously, but you know, like the different stages of it, the different like races that live in Hyrule and their towns and villages and the mountains and all the landscapes. And we finally get to this moment where we just get to enjoy it. So this is what this track is about. It's like we see that third part of the divinity in the Triforce and just see pretty much like fly through Hyrule and feeling the air, like, you know, flowing through you. And this is a tribute to some of my favorite themes from the game that are very melodic and make me feel like that. You'll hear some of them from, I think there's some Skyward Sword, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's mostly Skyward Sword and maybe Wind Waker. I don't remember, but you listen to it and you tell me what it is. And yeah, I'll just stick a little. I'll stick around a little bit after this track. So you want to say anything else, or you want to ask me any questions before going to bed or going somewhere else or waking up if you're in France? Let me know. I'll stick around a little bit, so don't feel like you have to like type in. But yeah, please ask me questions. I love questions, and hopefully I can answer them all. Enjoy the last song of Ballads of Hyrule. All right, that was the last track from Ballads of Hyrule. I hope you liked it as much as I love working on it. I made sure to throw in the best production in it, like live strings and everything, so you can enjoy it to the fullest. Yes, there was some Wind Waker in there, I believe. Skyloft Romance in the Air, which is, in my opinion, one of the best themes ever written for Zelda, and so underrated because it's on Skyward Sword, and like, I don't even remember. Can someone tell me where that actually plays? Because I've heard it outside of the scene. I mean, outside of the game, like so much in the soundtrack, like nonstop. But I don't remember quite good. Like where does it play? So please tell me, enlighten me, so I don't have to play the game again because I'm waiting for the HD release, hopefully. And there's some Wind Waker in there as well. Just to finish everything up and just be, I mean, yeah, and just to like bring everything together and that whole concept. So hopefully you can see that whole concept of Violets of Hyrule coming down to those last three tracks, right? Like if you had to like describe this album, hopefully it's those three tracks, right? Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the whole album with me. Hopefully I didn't make you stay up too late, or thank you. Yeah, thank you for staying this far. And if you have any questions, I'll be here for like another minute or so answering them before I actually go and play some Zelda, because listening to these made me want to go and like open another file of Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker and heck, all of them. Breath of the Wild is probably going to be the one because Switch and bed, Go get this album. If you don't want to like buy it digitally, you can always get a CD like this, but with the new cover. We're getting them pretty soon. Or pre-orders are still open. If someone can share the link, moderator Sebastian, wonderful Sebastian. A shout out, by the way, to Sebastian Wolf. He has been my hero of time, and I say that because he is my producer. He is the founder of Materia Collective, and he helps out with all of these licensing and distribution and all those shenanigans that musicians don't want to worry about because they're too boring or we just don't understand. So if you have covers that you want to release, talk to this guy. Video game covers, and like they release fantastic, huge albums. They actually just announced a Majora's Mask collab album, and it's like, it's really big. It's like how many tracks? Like 70 tracks or something like that. That's crazy. Even I can't write that much music. Here I'm giving you 15 tracks, and these guys are like, no, 70. So please go and support them as well. That album is called Fate, Fate. Find it out in Bandcamp. Please, someone share the link to that so we can listen to that when it comes out. And yeah, I just want to thank Sebastian because he pretty much makes all of these albums happen. So please, chat, say thanks to Sebastian so these albums can keep happening forever and ever. All right, let me see if anyone asked any question, and then I can leave you guys alone. Yes, that was a hint of Wind Waker at the end. Yes, that is a true ballad. I guess that's why I call the album like that. It's the most ballady song, that last one. I'm glad Simon asked this question, or Simona, I don't know where you're from, but why end it on the Wind Waker theme? What was the thought behind that choice? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I might have an answer. But I also suggest that you go back and listen to all my albums in case you haven't, because it's, I don't want to call it a joke, but it's a meme. Yes, let's call it that, or meme, whatever you call it, I don't care. But back in the day, 2015, I released this Majora's Mask cover album called Time Once Lost. It's pretty much the same vibe as this one. It's very relaxing. It's more like, let's visit the already doomed Termina and like just enjoy remembering your childhood while being in here. And anyway, I'll talk about that later. But the last track you hear, there's a little Easter egg at the very end, and some people got very, very excited because they were like, Rozen is gonna do Wind Waker, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do Wind Waker next. Now, there's been like 3 albums after that, and people don't see Wind Waker coming, so it's kind of like, you know, things, life happens. When the right time comes, there will be a Ballads of Wind Waker. No, it would be something else, but keep hoping, you guys. Wind Waker will come one day, but in the meantime, yeah. So in some albums, I keep like hinting at Wind Waker. Just damn, like right there. It's like keep hoping for it. So this was just like a little tribute to all my fans that have been waiting for me to do some Wind Waker. So hopefully I satisfied some of that craving with the Wind Waker tracks in this album. If not, please look forward into possible Wind Waker album in the future. But yeah, that's the reason why I hinted at it last. Skyloft, yeah, Skyloft is there. Yes, when you're meeting with Zelda, yep, you got that right. I'll wait 24. Can't wait to listen to FLAC version with the bass. Yes, I can't wait for you to listen to this album. It was masterfully mastered at Bakery LA Studio. So make sure you actually enjoy that bass. Sorry if I like skip some of these. I'll answer them after the fact. But oh yeah, thank you for telling me where that Romance in the Air song plays, because I need to go play that game again. Oh yeah, got the vinyl pack. Awesome, you'll get one like these, but with the other cover. But if you haven't gotten Sins of Hyrule, you can get it like this. If you don't have a turntable, it does not matter. It looks very pretty. And inside, I don't have an open one, and I don't want to open this one, but you like open it, and there's all these liner notes on how I made all those tracks. So make sure you go and actually see them, because the type is very small, and there might or might not be hidden stuff in there. I tried to throw that in there. Same with the new vinyl of Ballads of Hyrule. So I can't wait for you to tag me on, like, mention me on Twitter and tell me if you found all those themes in Scenes of Hyrule, or if you find any other secrets in my other albums, including this one. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. All right. Simon. Where are you from, Simon? But clearly a Spanish name, right? Love Time Was Lost. I love you, man. Yes. All right. In the past, you did some collab with Theophany. Do you think he will release a third album? Well, I should disclose he's my best friend, so I do work with him like 24/7. I actually work with him in a video game, so that's a pretty cool thing that people don't know, that we're just like really good friends. So obviously it has to happen. We've collaborated in the past. Revan and I heavily helped him with Time Sent 2, with the production and some recordings, and a little bit here and there. And then he has helped me ever since. Like, he did some sound design for me and Skyrim. He helped me remaster and like add new cool stuff in Dark Lord Ganondorf in Sins of Hyrule. He helped me produce that track, and so yeah, I cannot say what exactly will come next, because that's up to him to announce. But yes, you will see more from both of us, and the three of us. We're like the Triforce of friends, musicians who do cool Zelda stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling here. Oh, hi, all the way to Chile. Saludos. Stay warm. I know it can get pretty cold down there, and there's a lot of volcanoes, so hopefully dense fire caught your attention. I want to go there so badly one day, hopefully. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and please enjoy the album. If you have any other questions, I'm available on Twitter. Please subscribe to my channel so I can actually do these things more often and have more people more and more, so we can all be like cool and like partying here. And thank you so much again for all your support. Have a good night. My name is Rozen, and Revan is right here to say goodbye.